Hello everybody, my name is Takara and today we're looking at this first edition Native American Barbie from 1993. She is going to be my second fix-up doll and I'm so excited because I bought her knowing that she was loose in the box, but I assumed this was going to be an easy fix. And oh man, did I assume wrong. This beautiful doll was $14.99, so she was $15 plus free shipping. And she was put in a bubble mailer, so there was damage to her box during transit. So when I do shop on eBay, I usually shop for Barbie or Teresa or whatever, and I always use NRFB, which is an acronym for Never Removed from Box. Now this could mean that it was opened but never removed, which is fine by me because I don't really care, because if, something's loose, I'll fix it. It's not a problem to me. But what I noticed while looking through her original photos of how she's supposed to lay out in the box, she is missing her stand. So I don't think this doll should have been marked as NRFB, in my opinion. Her official photos honestly kind of made her look funny. Like, I don't know if it was just the angle or whatever, but it just gave her like this smushed in face. But in person, she looks a lot different, and I'm really glad that I got her. So adding on to the new damages, I figured this would be a great opportunity to open her up and play with her hair and stuff like that, because she has amazing hair. It's very gorgeous. It's very wavy. I love it so much. And at first I thought that I wanted to put her hair back in the original style, but seeing how it made like an absolute massacre inside the box with all these blue rubber band bits, I just decided to let her lay her hair out au natural, and I think it looks a lot prettier that way. So one of the first little things I did not notice was she came with a purse, the warranty, everyone gets these, and that was honestly it besides the doll in the box. I'm not pressed about the stand too much, I just like completing things, so it's okay. Look how beautiful her face is. Like, forget the stand, I'm just happy she came, because she is beautiful and gorgeous, and I try to have my nails match her outfit, like the blue accents and stuff. Yeah, I'm a little extra, but I'm glad my nails survived this long so they don't look like a chipped mess. Now this is pretty much the back of the box. This is where she's going to be sitting back into. I don't know what the hell happened, but she just got her shit knocked all around in there. Then here's the box. Very cute box, very average looking box, nothing too crazy, but I love the little Native American motif on the side. I think that's really pretty. I did try to fix a crack already. I wanted to see what it looked like if I used like nail polish first to kind of bind it together. It didn't work out, so don't do that. Like, these cracks were like really deep, and I already looked at photos to compare, and these definitely were not in the photos, so as I theorized, they were definitely something that happened during transit. But other than that, the cardboard's okay. There's like the little bits of like hair rubber bands all over the place, so we're going to take care of that. We're going to take care of the back of this, because I'm definitely going to have to utilize this in some way. Yeah, there's some of that's ripped, which is a little annoying because I was really hoping I was going to be able to use that, but it's okay. The fun thing about these videos is that you can try to like mimic the perfection, but it's always like a little bit of a puzzle to figure out how to get her back in and make it look natural. I think that's the really fun part about these videos, but they do take a long time. And also, I forgot, she had a hairbrush, and I just now decided to add that in, so. So these are the things you're going to need, though. Scissors, glue, the wire that my best friend got me, tape, and then this little cord to tie her hair back. First thing you're going to do is wipe it all down, because there is little bits of residue. The plastic was kind of yellowy looking, so you can wipe that off, and sometimes it's just smoke from a smoker's home or things like that can wipe off of plastic. So give it a good rub down. I did this a few times already, because some of the stuff was just not coming up right. So you have to do it a few times. Even on the cardboard, just make sure this isn't soaking wet. If it's soaking wet, it's going to mess up the cardboard. I was heavily inspired to make redo videos like this, or fix-up videos, because I got a doll from the Family Dollar that was absolutely trashed out of her box. But I saw that I could probably still fix her. I thought she was really pretty for like a really cheap like knockoff doll. So the lady was nice, and she's just like, oh, you want this? Okay, like $3, because it was messed up. And honestly, that's where this whole thought of doing fix-up videos started. You might have to go over it a few times, but it's definitely worth it. So the next step is not to put her together yet, but yep, to wipe her down. Because you have to wipe the inside too, because that also shows. The residue on this one was, it was pretty bad, but it was manageable. The back I don't really care about because you're not going to see that. But I did cut everything off, so I took this little plastic jibber off. I think it is for her hair, to put her hair down in the back, and then the front part her braids would hang, but I couldn't use it because it was already snapped off. The next part is to get these little plastic twists out. I would usually reuse these, but I have a whole spool of them, so I don't need it. And on top of that, these ones are from 1993, same year I was born. So they're 27 years old. So I don't want to have to reuse them, and you know, they also break later on down the road. So here they all are, they're finally all out, and I will say they gave a little bit of a fight. I'm shocked I actually didn't rip anything. The next step is to just utilize everything that we can use, so I am getting a little bit of that plastic off still, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh crap, how am I going to do this? So first I'm going to put these down, these little tabs, because I'm not going to use them. I decided I was going to glue them, and then I realized that it isn't a layer. It's not like one flat sheet of paper. It's like wrapped. So me gluing it down doesn't really make much sense because it's not going to stay if I have to open the back out, which I will be doing later on. I decided I'm just going to tape it, and the way that I taped it didn't work either. I don't know why. My mind was like, hey, let me stick tape in there because that will work. This is the fun part about these. It's just like a puzzle, like I said. So you may think one way is going to work, and then you have to undo it and then figure out another way. But every problem that you have will be solved eventually. And I think that's the fun part of just like putting things together, taking them apart again, and then figure out how to fit it all together again. So now I'm going to put her on here and lay her out. And I'm not sure how I wanted to at that point. Did I want her hair flowing around? Did I not? I wasn't 1000% sure, but I knew that I had to go through her hair again real quick because I definitely was messing with her hair a lot, but I didn't get all the rubber band bits out. So you definitely want to get those out because you don't want to see them in the box. You want it to look nice. And oh boy, did I make a mess out of this. This is just paper. I use paper backdrops, and I was kind of hoping I'd squeeze one more use out of this, but it wasn't meant to be, so I figured I'd put a little piece of tape on it and kind of hide the fact that I ripped it. So at this stage, it is a good idea to tie the hair back at least so that it is not in the way, because I do want her hair down. But I'm not sure quite yet where it was going to go. I didn't know if I wanted to sit at the front and then it tie around her, or I wanted to go through the box and have it sit in the back of the box. There was so much trial and error. I think this video would have been a bit shorter if I just cut to the parts where I actually had her sitting where I wanted to, but I feel like a lot of people are going to be like, well, what if you did this, or what if you did that? And I think this is the easiest way to show like the whole process. And of course, yes, I'm wiping it down again because there still was a little bit of residue left. Now I did a few times trying to get this in the back while keeping the back intact because I wasn't 100% sure how they folded it back there, and I felt like if I tried to open it, I was definitely going to rip it. See, I was going to try. I didn't think it was going to let me at first, but I obviously didn't try hard enough. So I decided I'm going to utilize where her arms used to be held on as her new place to tie her down at the waist, because I thought that maybe could hide a few things. It kind of did, but it kind of didn't. And I'm really trying really hard to get it through there, and I did get it through, but I was not happy with how it was going to twist in the front. So I did decide to open up the back, see what's going on, deal with that tape, because that tape was really annoying because it kept getting stuck to my paper backdrop. So I'm going to just utilize it this way. I don't know why I didn't do it this way before. I guess I was kind of being lazy, so, I mean, it doesn't pay to be lazy. So at this point, I'm making sure all her little tassels and everything are down, and I do end up opening this back up later, but you'll see why. But I'm going to tape it down from the back, and I hope that kind of fixed all my problems with the whole fringe falling into the back of it. But overall, I'm really happy that I did open it up, though, because this honestly made it look a lot cleaner from the front. So I redid the tabs and everything, and I was just like, oh gosh, it's going to be almost done. It's going to look great. I was pretty excited about it, and I even taped it down with confidence. So after that, I flipped her back, and I noticed that she was still very, very loose. And I was just like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do about this. And I was just fiddling with her for a little bit and trying to reposition. I was just like, well, maybe because the box will be up straight, I won't have to really worry about her, like, moving around and everything. But I noticed from the first time I fixed up the doll, the one I mentioned earlier in this video, she moves around a lot because I only fastened her at the waist. So the next thing you're going to do is pretty much just tape up the box. This is the best thing I know to do. And I always tape from the inside first and then the outside so that you have enough structure. So if you do put pressure on the front, there's enough give on the inside so that you don't crack it any further than that. The one thing I always say is always scratch the tape so it gives off that clear appearance almost, because from far away you honestly wouldn't be able to tell that there's tape there, and I love when that happens. This is just a little pet peeve on my end. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I noticed there was some pulling on the native band right here, and I hate when that happens on boxes, and I figure gluing it would probably be the best way to protect it, so that's what I do when I see little things like that on a box. So I completely changed what I wanted to do, and I decided to just kind of edit this part in and kind of just show you guys the changes that I decided to make. So I reopened the back. I put her hair and I fastened it in the back because I noticed when she moved around a lot, her hair was also going everywhere and I didn't want it hanging in her face. So at first I decided to try to utilize that little side slot right there, the two little dots where the stand used to be, as a way to fasten her legs down. And it honestly, I thought it was a good idea at first, but it made her sideways, obviously, because of tension. There is me using my brain. Oh my goodness, that looks so much better. And I love these ties so much because they're like kind of soft, so I'm not too worried about them ruining any of the vinyl. And like they're kind of see-through-ish, so that looks really nice on the doll and everything. So I'm really happy that my brain decided, hey, this might make more sense. Now this is my favorite part. I'm finally gonna tape this thing after what, 4 times I've taped this little bastard. I finally get to see something go right. Look how nice that looks. That is like genius right there. I feel so smart. But honestly, that wasn't its intention. I don't think the original packaging, so I feel really, really smart about this. We finally did it. Oh my goodness, I can finally put the warranty in the back. Looks great. Remember to do that because you don't want to be like me and forget all the time. I feel really good about how she looks in there. She looks so pretty up against the yellow. I didn't even really recognize how it makes her skin and eyes pop. She looks so pretty. And I, of course, put the brush back in there. Can't forget the brush either. And I did put her at the top first, but I already sealed the top. Like the prior, like before I had her feet fixed and everything, so she stayed a little bit better. I will say she's at a slight angle, but it's a lot better than what it was before. I am so pleased with how she looks now. She looks almost legit, like she was never opened, kind of. Besides a few missing things, obviously, and it not being the most put together thing in the world. Like, obviously, there's twist ties and things that wasn't meant for certain things, but overall, I'm really happy with how she looks. And, of course, she passed the shake test. Now that her fix-up is finally over, we can now review her in her full glory. So she's finally in box, and look how beautiful she looks up against the yellow background. I love that she's wearing this all white fake leather, and she has all these beautiful little accents that I do know are probably not really Native American. They're just mostly loosely inspired by Native American designs, but it is pretty. I like that she came with really long earrings because I love really long earrings myself. And I love the fringe on there. I think it really just ties in together and it adds like a certain flow to her look. And I know it wouldn't be a 90s Barbie without some wild eyeshadow, and I really do like the blue up against her eyes and her skin tone. I think it's really striking and pretty. One thing I thought that was going to give me trouble was her moccasins because they are kind of thigh high, they're above the knee. And I always thought they were going to fall down, but I guess the rubber on her leg and the fabric helps keep it up, which is really nice. As we've seen before, she comes with a little purse. It's hidden under her fringe, which is okay. And she also comes with a bracelet and a ring, which I don't know how accurate that is either, nor is the earrings, but it is really pretty. And of course, it wouldn't be a Dolls of the World box without at least some information on the back about the doll. You can pause and read this if you want, but it does explain what Native American people are, where they come from, things that they ate and wore, and even what, they played with, which I think is interesting. Though I can understand because of political correctness that Dolls of the World wouldn't be something that we'd see in 2020, but I sure would like a more accurate representation of the dolls produced one day because I do think they're really interesting and pretty to look at. Now, before we go today, please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and down below tell me your favorite Dolls of the World Barbie, because I feel like she's my top favorite. And I want to thank you all so much for watching, and tune in next time because I got more to show you guys. Thank you so much. I'll see y'all later.